Alright, so more news on this Kuminga saga because that's quite literally the only thing we can speak about for the Warriors in free agency. So in a news segment on ESPN, Kuminga posted a story online saying he's going to continue to quote-unquote bet on himself as he declined the Warriors' 2-year $45 million offer, and the Suns are one of the emerging teams that's really trying to throw the kitchen sink at acquiring JK. They've come forward with an offer of 4 years, $90 million, doubling the Warriors' offer, and in return, the Warriors will receive a trade package that includes Royce O'Neale, Nick Richards, and 4 unprotected second-round picks. According to Shams, the Kings have come forward with a first-round pick in their offer, as that's something that the Warriors are seeking, but the Warriors have shut down all sign-and-trade talks as they find nothing appealing. They more so believe that JK is actually going to be back on the roster come training camp. First things first, who does this guy JK think he is? Like honestly, a lot of people online are saying, if he's that bad, why don't you guys get rid of him already? Or why do you guys care about getting something good in return if you don't think he's that good? Those people have no clue what they're talking about, and let me break it down like this. JK is demanding all-star type of money, which he is nowhere close to being. He thinks he's better than what he actually is. Warrior fans are saying, no, you're not like that, meaning he's not that good, or not as good as he thinks. No one is saying he's flat out bad. Bad and not good are two different things. Bad means not an NBA player. Not good in this context means not an all-star or above. He's in the middle, where he has some type of upside. Again, unclear what it is, but it's there. He proved at least that in the playoffs this year. So in a sign and trade situation, it makes sense that at minimum the Warriors want at least 1 first-round pick or a rotational player. We're offering a player where you can look forward to something, and the Warriors aren't even demanding somebody big in return, which is why that Kings offer is a joke, because why would we take 2 players that are not rotational players? And in return, we're giving you a player that you can develop. That just makes no sense. But it's clear that the Suns want Kuminga much more, as their offer seems to be better, as they're offering 2 legit rotational players and draft compensation. This offer seems more intriguing because it's much more beneficial than the Kings offer, but I have a few thoughts that I want to touch on. Even though this offer is better than the Kings offer, how much better is it really? Because on paper, it seems great. Quick disclaimer, by the way, I didn't really watch the Suns too much this year, so everything I'm about to say is based on my own research. But if anybody knows more, feel free to correct me. But you get Nick Richards, a young starting caliber center that has center-like qualities. He's hovered around the top 30 when it comes to rebounds and blocks, 7'4" wingspan, almost 250 pounds. Sounds like a rock-solid NBA center that can help this team. Until you realize that he's likely not going to be able to do the things that the Warriors need him to do. He can't space the floor whatsoever because he doesn't have a jump shot. It looks like he's not a gifted passer, which is a skill that he needs in this Warriors system. He's got to be able to be the offensive hub and make reads or catching it out of the short roll and making the extra pass. Pretty much his processing speed is what I'm concerned about. Because if you look at the Warriors front line, what do they all have in common? Passing skills. Post, TJD, Draymond, and Loon last season were all good passers. But something else I've noticed upon watching other people's analysis on him is the fact that he's not really a defensive anchor. Again, he's got great traits as a defensive big, but just because you average a ton of blocks, that doesn't mean you can really defend. Look at the players like Hassan Whiteside. There are plenty of bigs that hunt for blocks that inflate their value defensively. And again, I don't know enough here. I'm not saying that Nick Richards is that guy. However, one of the things that I've seen is the fact that he can be undisciplined, meaning he can commit a lot of stupid fouls or be in the wrong place and make a ton of defensive mistakes. So basically, he probably has a bit of Jaren Jackson Jr. or Karl Anthony Towns in him, where he has lapses that make him a bad defensive player. Stretches where the game can either slow down or the defense can be in a constant blender because he can't do his job. But another question I have is, how well can he hold up on switches? Is he mobile? If he's gonna close games, he's gotta be able to switch and guard out in the perimeter. Can he wall up bruisers down at the block? He's gonna have to guard the likes of Jokic, Zubac, Alperen Şengün. Can he at least slow those players down? Is he a smart player? Can he get ahead of plays and break things up? Can he be in the right place, right time? How good of a finisher is he? Can he finish diving / cutting to the rim? Does he have good touch? Another thing is running the floor. You can't be slow to get up and down the floor with the Warriors, and if anyone has any intel on all of these things, please let me know in the comments. So that's where I'm at with Nick Richards. Just too many questions about his game that makes it too risky to commit to him. Now don't get me wrong, he does provide some type of value to the Warriors with his rim protection in sheer size alone, because that's going to save Draymond from playing the 5. But minus Al Horford if we land him, is he that much better than a guy like Post, than a guy like TJD? Now as far as Royce O'Neale, I'm not really too keen on him because he doesn't really fit what the Warriors need. Yes, he's a shooting upgrade. He was one of the best spot-up shooters in the league last season. The Warriors need shooters. He's a shooter. Yes, I get that. But number one, I don't think he's a starting player. He's likely going to have to come off the bench because starting him is going to put Jimmy and Dre back at the 4 and the 5, and Royce isn't good enough for the Warriors to make that move. He also doesn't fill a position of need because right now you got Steph at the 1, you got Jimmy at the 3, you got Draymond at the 4, and we need players that can play the 2 and the 5. The Warriors need ball handling and shooting. Royce has one part of that down, but I don't think he's a movement shooter. He's not the type to come off a handoff or come off a pin down and shoot with a defender trailing behind. From all of the clips and tapes that I've seen, he's just a spot-up shooter, and he definitely ain't no ball handler, and he's not a center. But the second thing is, does he even do anything else? Because we know he plays off the catch. Can he catch and rip and go to the rim? Can he guard? Can he rebound? Can he make the extra pass? Does he have high motor? Pretty much what I'm asking is he a quality role player? Because what it sounds like is that we're getting a fringe sharpshooter that can't do anything else. And if that's the case, then no thank you. If the Suns can add like a Ryan Dunn into this package, then the Warriors need to ring it up quick because he would help the Warriors way more than Royce O'Neale and Nick Richards.